book friends, I'm back. I am prep filming a couple videos because I'm in the middle of like redoing my bedroom a little bit. So I'm going to tell you guys of the books that are going to be on my fall TBR. Fall is probably my favorite reading season because I love reading creepy and eerie things. I don't always love the weather because it gets cold so fast, but I do love fall season. I go back to work in the fall. You know, bittersweet, but I do really like fall reading. So I'm going to give you guys a TBR of the books that I am hoping to read this fall. Trying to be better at actually following my TBRs. We will see if this is the year that I accomplish that goal. I will report back, but let's see what's on the agenda. What I'm going to talk about is The Luminaries by Susan Dennard. This is an arc I got from Macmillan and Tor. It takes place in a town called Hemlock Falls. I'll be very, very honest. I don't know much about this book. But only the Luminaries, a society of ancient gardens, stand between humanity and the nightmares of the forest that rise each night. That sounds great, and I think the main character, Winnie, has been exiled, but she's determined to restore her family's good name by taking on the hunter trials for her birthday, but she has to turn to her ex-best friend. And they discover danger lurking in the forest that no one in Hemlock Falls is prepared for. This, I think, will be a great fall read. So I'm super excited for this one. I think it comes out in November, but it sounds great, and this cover will be perfect if there's any, like, creepy reading challenges afoot. So I'm really excited for this one. What I'm super excited about that I just picked up from my friend Jen is When the Stars Come Out by Scarlett St. Clair. This is like a book she wrote like a while ago, I think, and like just a house picked it up, I believe. But it's about a girl that can see the dead and turn spirits into gold coins. And then I think there's like a dead girl in her school or something. It sounds interesting. I have her other one that I'm also might read this fall, but this one I'm putting on my TBR. But I'm intrigued. I've heard mixed things about her writing style, but I did hear her talk on a panel, so I'm curious. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to add it to my TBR, and we'll see how that goes. I'm kind of teasing my book haul a little bit because I'm waiting for another bigger order to come in. But The Bone Orchard by Sarah A. Mueller is another book that I've heard really unique things about. My friend Sarah got this for me, so this one I'm also going to put on my TBR. And then I also finally picked up Forging Silver and Stars into Stars by Bridget Kimmerer. This is the companion book to the Curse Worker series, I think, or the Curse Breaker series. And I think it follows, like, a minor character in that series. But yeah, this is, like, high fantasy, and it follows two characters, Jax and Kaylin. They've been best friends. That's, like, one of my favorite tropes. So, but I know that it's set in that world, so I'm super excited. I also picked up some T. Kingfisher, just because I've been hearing so many people talk about it. So I picked up Paladin Grace by T. Kingfisher, and I really have no idea what this book is about. But it looks creepy, so that is why I picked it up, and I hope to read it this fall. And I also picked up Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher, and this is like a quest fantasy, I think. But it's super short. I actually might read this relatively quickly because I have to read Bone for a prompt, so I might actually read this, but I know it has to do with a quest. It's about a girl, her sister is like in a very, very bad marriage, and she has to go on like a quest to save her. So that's all that I know, but this cover is really, really pretty. I also picked up a copy of The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston, and I love her writing style. I've heard really good things about this book. And I think it has to do, it's like a ghost love story. So I'm really excited for this one. I literally just picked it up. So hopefully this will be another lighter fall read. So I'm excited for that one as well. And I also picked up a copy of Aggie Morden, Mystery Queen, The Body Under the Piano. And this is like a take on, inspired by the real life Queen of Crime, Agatha Christie. And I think it's like a middle grade series inspired by her life or something. So, or maybe by her mysteries. I'm excited. My friend Sarah got this one for me as well. So, this TBR is going to be long, but that's the first stack. So, now let's get to the other stacks. That is Sarah Bowenton's Guide to Vampire Hunting by Rosen A. Brown. Vampires always scream fall to me, and middle grades also scream fall. I actually have 2 copies of this because I got one sent to me, and then I got one at ALA. So, I'm probably going to give, like, do a giveaway to some of my classes with both the copies because I think this will be a great fall read for them. Sorry for the coughing. I am recovering from COVID, so don't mind that. But it is a YA author makes a middle grade debut with a preteen vampire slayer with strong helping of Ghanem folklore. So I'm really excited for this one. Also, Gallon by V.E. Schwab is still on my TBR. My friend Sarah said to read this in like one day. So I'm going to try to do like a weekend reading vlog where I read it. I really don't know much about it. I've heard really mixed things, but that's how she said to read it. So I'm going to hopefully get to this fall as well. And on the way back from Florida, I picked up Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Alpert. Secret Lies, Super Bad Choices, and Witchcraft. I think this is about like maybe a school. I really don't know what this is about, but I heard Melissa Alpert. This cover has been intriguing me. It gives me Alice in Wonderland vibes. But I think it has to do with like witches and witchcraft. So this will be a great another fall read as well. And this cover is super pretty. So those are sort of the random books that I put on this TBR. But there's a lot more, so don't you fret. Let's get into those. My TBR, but I am going to include them in this video because they are fall themed, and I'm going to try to read in the morning again for school. But instead of reading nonfiction, I'm going to pick up some short story collections and see how that works. We'll see. But I have Our Shadows Have Claws, 15 Latin America monster stories by a bunch of new to me authors, Escape Claribel Ortega, which I have read before. So I'm really excited for this one, and I do like to read in the morning, and I've been reading nonfiction in the morning, but I'm going to try something new and just see how successful it is. And I also have The Gathering Dark, an anthology of folk horror, and this has a lot more authors that I'm familiar with, but these are the two that I'm going to just try like an experiment with and see if it works. And then 2 books by Chloe Gong made this list. I really want to finish Our Violin Ends, and this is the end of the Romeo and Juliet duet, which I've heard really good things about. And then I also, when I went to ALA, I picked up a copy of Our Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong, and it doesn't tell me. It's a retelling of something, and I don't remember what it is. I think it's a retelling of As You Like It, but it's set in 1930 Shanghai, and the stage is set for a new decade of intrigue. So, people said you should finish this duology before you start this, so that is why they're both on this TBR. They're both eerie and creepy, and I think it will be a great addition. So, I'm super excited for those. That I picked up from ALA, so if you've been watching my ALA hauls, you probably know what these are about, but I got Lord of Night by J.C. Cervantes. This is a Shadow Bruja novel. This is the companion book to the Stormrunner series. I actually need to finish that series, so I'm really hopeful that I will do that before I read this one, so that's the goal. But I did pick this up, and it does come out in October. A Wilderness of Stars by Shara Anshar is another witchy-themed book, and this one comes out, I think, in November, but I think I'm probably going to read it in the fall if I can help it. And I think it has to do... If a magic lives anywhere, it's in the stars. Again, I like to go into her books a little bit blind, but I'm excited for this one. Direwood I'm actually on a blog tour for, so this one has to get read, but it's in this Velvet 1980 Gothic horror. Elja encounters a charming vampire who wants to lure her into the woods, just like her missing sister. So, this one I think would be perfect, and I do have to read it because I am on a blog tour, but I did get the ARC from ALA. The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrews. Enter a world of dark academia in the achingly romantic fantasy about a deaf college student with a peculiar connection to the afterlife. This cover is perfect. Stunning. I'm so excited. And an oldie that I haven't talked about recently, All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christina Lynn Herman. Again, the second book did come out. You fell in love with the victors of the Hunger Games, now prepared to meet the villains of the Blood Veil. So, this one I think will be perfect. It has to do with a competition, but I've had this for a while and I just want to get around to it. So now let's get to the other stack of ALA books. Is Monsters Born and Made by Tabby Birna. This is an epic South Asian inspired fantasy. Coral grew up battling monsters that live in the surrounding seas, but it didn't prepare her for the cunning cruelty of the ruling elite. So this one might be monsters mixed with political intrigue, which I'm intrigued by. I'll be honest, I really got this book for my students, but I also want to read it before I pass it on to them. But it says Grape Girls 1, 2, 3, 4. I Declare a Thumb War by Lisa Harrison and Daniel Krauss. And this is Meet Whisper, Franny, Sophie, Gemma, and Zuzu. 5 friends tell eerie tales by night and navigate middle school drama by day. If you don't know, I'm a middle school teacher, so I think this will be a big hit with my homeroom students. If I have the same homeroom I had last year, I think that they'll get a kick out of this one. So I'll probably read it early fall so I could give it to them as a class prize for one of the days that they do really, really well. And another book I picked up from AOL is A Dreadful Splendor by B.R. Myers. I'll be honest, I really don't know what this book is about, but the cover really captured me. It's a ghoulishly fun gothic murder mystery brimming with romance, betrayals, chills, a fake spiritualist is summoned to hold seance for a woman who died on the eve before her wedding. But as nefarious secrets are revealed, the line between hoax and haunting blurs. And this I think it just came out, so this cover seems very, very eerie and creepy. So I'm super excited for that, and hopefully I'll get to read it soon. And it is an adult book, which I'm trying to read more of. So hopefully this will be a success. Books is pretty much all the books that have been on my TBR for years. Like, I think I'm literally just going to do a reading vlog of books that have been on my TBR for so long, because a lot of these have. Last Seen Leaving by Caleb Rohrig is a book that I am really excited for. I didn't love White Rabbit, but in the wake of his girlfriend's disappearance, the spotlight is on him. And I think this one sounds really interesting, so I'm excited to dive into this one. Sorry, I can't speak today. The River Has Teeth by Erica Waters is another creepy mystery. And I also have her first book, Ghostwood Song. So these I'm really hoping to read. I've had this one for a while, and this one I bought because I was super excited, and then I just didn't get a chance to read it last year. I'm also sure she's coming out with a new, but I don't have the information. They'll Never Catch Us by Jessica Goodman. This is her book that came out last year. Her counselor book is also on my TBR, but this is about 2 sisters that are accused of a murder and have to go on the run. Girl of Nightmares by Kendare Blake. I read her book last year, the first book in the series, and really enjoyed it and felt like it left off on a pretty big cliffhanger. So hopefully I get to read this and really enjoy it, because I would like to complete the series. Grimrose Girls by Laura Powell. I think that's how you say it. There is a second book that's coming out, or it just came out, so I really want to read this. But this really, when I read it, screamed to me like Pretty Little Liars, but maybe with like a magical twist. So I'm really excited for this one. It was, and this cover is really, really pretty. And the last book was one of those $5 deals at Barnes & Noble. It is 14 Ways to Die, and it's about a girl. Her dad is like a serial killer, and now she gets in, like, she has to be in this competition where like people are trying to kill her, I think. But the chapters are so short, so this would actually be really good to read on like a commute, because I will never have to get to the end. Like, chapters are like no more than 2 pages long. So yeah, that is my fall TBR. Let me know in the comments what are some fall books you're super excited to read, or what are the books that you're like eerie and creepy vibes that you wanted to dive into. And I'll talk to you guys soon for my next video. Bye, friends.